Hello, dear friends. Low frequency produces depressing pessimism, while high frequency produces realistic optimism. Opinion piece. Age of Monsters, Instability, Interregnum, Difficult Times, System Decline, Geopolitical Risk, Monumental Shift, Extreme Ideologies, Shutdown is a Disguise, Three-Dimensional Chess, The Swamp is being drained, Gold surpasses $4,000. Let's start. The old world is dying, and the new one is struggling to be born. The age of masters have arrived, said the Italian Antonio Gramsci in 1929. This means that we are in a period of historical transition where the old system is in decline, but the new system has not yet fully emerged. An interregnum is a time of uncertainty, when countries are in crisis and aspiring leaders compete for power with current leaders. Difficult times tend to bring out all the crazy ones, all the sociopathic types, who would find it difficult to succeed in stable and prosperous times. This time of transition is a space of uncertainty and crisis where dangerous forms emerge, the monsters, which can be extreme ideologies, authoritarian movements, or negative social phenomena that try to take advantage of the chaos of fear generated by transformation. History reminds us that periods of interregnum generate not only chaos, but also the rise of opportunists who thrive on fear and division. According to Jeff Thomas, in ancient Rome, interregnum was the term given to the period between stable governments during which any adversity could occur, and sometimes did. Civil unrest, wars between warlords, a power vacuum, and eventually wars of succession. But over time, the situation calmed down, and the victors stabilized empire again. When empires find themselves in such dire economic straits that they can't find a viable solution, one trick political leaders consistently use to avoid being deposed is to start a war. If people believe their homeland is in danger, they would accept the temporary deprivation of their freedom. At such times, people tend to polarize and place their faith in one political party or another, but that faith is eroded by scandals. Geopolitical risk. Geopolitical risk increases globally. Cyber attacks and data breaches will continue to be the greatest risk. According to a report, geopolitical volatility, along with AI-related issues, was the fastest growing business risk globally. Broken down by continent, Asia will experience the largest increase in geopolitical risk, above the global average by 2028. In Europe, geopolitical volatility already ranks high at 6th place. According to experts, it is projected to continue increasing until 2028, when geopolitical volatility is believed to become the third largest risk in Europe. North America is expected to rank slightly below the global average, while the situation will be more relaxed in South America. Three-dimensional geopolitical chess. What if the ultimate plan was never to defeat Russia? What if the immediate plan was to defeat Europe? Asks Terry Cowan. They are abandoning the cheap Russian oil that has been the foundation of Europe's prosperity in recent decades. Instead, they have opted for much more expensive fuel sourced by the US and the Russians after first passing through India. This is decimating the economy. Reset news. Fake bondholders detected in Reno. Trump prepares a $2,000 Treasury stimulus. The ABS will begin as soon as synchronization with the QFS and the ABS is complete. Specialized aircraft sweep major cities for unregistered frequency networks used for mind control and Mars surveillance. The multi-phased global operation White Swan has begun, featuring financial seizures, bioweapons interdiction, and psychological operations. 70% of IRS employees have been suspended and will not be rehired. The remaining 30% will work for the External Revenue Service. The storm is real, roaring like a hurricane. Special operations deployed. Every move planned for maximum impact. This is not chaos. It is cold precision. The reckoning begins. The swamp is being drained not with words but with deeds. This is the monumental change that has been awaited. The time for talking is over. The storm has arrived, and it will not stop until the end. This super full moon in Aries symbolizes completion, heightened emotions, release, and enlightenment. It represents a culminating point in the lunar cycles, bringing clarity and awareness to the spiritual, emotional, and physical aspects of life. The Storm Rider speaks of the end of the swamp. This is that red October we have all been waiting for, where the hunters become the hunted. We are in expert hands. The team has brought us here safely, and I trust they will accompany us the rest of the way to ascension. There is much to be thankful for. Medical beds. According to Mr. Poole, the first medbed prototype was born in 1936, but the elite quickly destroyed it. The technology subsequently resurfaced and is about to become a reality. We can time our aging process. If you are 80 or older, you can rewind your aging by 50 years. The full deployment of medical beds for all is expected by 2027 or 28. A quiet revolution is beginning. They hid it for 90 years, and it will be hidden no longer. According to Paul White Gold Eagle, the QFS is funding projects such as medbed technologies, Tesla free energy, and the new infrastructure of total human freedom. The first secret test has already been carried out in 22 nations with 100% success. Control. According to Mr. Poole, the shutdown was never a collapse. It was a preparation for the transition. The world is one signal away from a reset. Civilian banking networks continue to operate but under control. Within the Treasury security teams, verify gold reserves and reassigning digital codes to QFS-approved accounts. This isn't an audit, it's a recovery. Multiple sources confirm that private communication lines used by federal contractors have been cut. This is to prevent the leakage of data connecting key politicians with payments from foreign central banks. The old economic engine is shutting down from within. The Federal Reserve headquarters remains light at night, but only military personnel enter and leave. Internal servers on the quantum mainframe have been drained and replicated. Underground testing of the ABS continues. When the final reset occurs, all devices will receive the same message, the announcement of a new system backed by gold and owned by the people. Avoid large cities. Stay grounded during alert periods. Ignore news from the mainstream media. Trust only reliable sources linked to the QFS. Red October. The financial and political landscape is changing at breakneck speed. It is critical to have a clean house before the final stage of the operation can begin. Bureaucratic resistance must be neutralized. Dan Scavino links the current operations to the concept of Red October. It symbolizes a period of decisive action and revelations that will expose the extent of decades of corruption. The narrative underscores the dramatic rise in the price of gold, noting that the metal reached $4,000 per ounce. This valuation is presented as tangible proof that the current economic structure is failing, and that the market is preparing for unavoidable transition. The noise comes from my guts. A parallel economic system is activated. Trump approved a major midnight highway in Alaska. Mining highway, not midnight, mining highway in Alaska. This will allow for the extraction of gold, silver, cobalt, and other strategic metals. The government shutdown, often lamented by the mainstream media, is seen here as essential operation cover. A shutdown allows non-essential personnel linked to tax-side bureaucracy to be sidelined, creating the necessary conditions for a deep cleanse. Shadow government. According to Mr. Poole, the shutdown reveals a network of shadow government. The shutdown is a disguise. What appears to be dysfunction is in reality a demolition. The old regime is being dismantled under the cloak of silence. With agencies closed and the lights off, the real battle is over the data. Cyber units have breached internal federal servers, uncovering a parallel network of hidden communications. This network is being seized. Classified contracts linking major banks, media executives, and federal officials are being removed from the system. Hundreds of millions in hidden payments are being traced to offshore cell accounts. Federal buildings in Washington, D.C. have been sealed, not for security, but so that forensic teams can work. The rooms that housed the files were actually intelligence centers for propaganda and financial fraud. Evidence is being stored and moved to protect the funds. While politicians claim they can't fund the government, gold bullion and historic bonds are being secretly transferred from Federal Reserve vaults to Treasury-backed locations. The shift to a gold-backed standard is underway. The next step is to address the emergency power structure. Once the shadow network is completely drained, the public will understand why the shutdown was never about money, but about ending the shadow government. Economy. Gold surpasses $4,000 for the first time. Gold price hits record high. Silver price hits 14-year high. And platinum price hits 13-year high. Gold surge indicates a monetary reset is accelerating, according to ITM Trading. According to Rabobank, gold confirms that the world has passed the physical event horizon and the only way out is general inflation through currency devaluation. One set of countries are suffering from abnormally high food prices, bringing risk of social unrest. The fiat currency experiment is coming to an end globally, according to John Rubino. In his view, fiat currencies are failing due to debt, and the price of gold is rising to reflect that decline. India launches a foreign exchange settlement system through its GIFT City Financial Center. By enabling global currency settlement, India is accelerating its shift toward financial sovereignty and reducing dependence on Western clearing networks. Launch of a precious metals exchange. At the 2025 Moscow Financial Forum, the BRICS announced plans for a trading platform that would allow countries to trade gold, platinum, diamonds, and rare earths, bypassing SWIFT and commodity exchanges. This is the architecture of a new financial order. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.